Before the tiaras and royal headlines, Meghan Markle was just a charming, ambitious student at Northwestern University with a mission to accomplish. She wasn't famous yet. But one night in 1998, in a crowded sorority house, she experienced something that would stay with her forever. A prank, a scream, and a silence that money would later buy. It started like any other night, with music echoing through the corridors, cosmetics scattered on counters, and laughter spilling from rooms. Then a straightforward but drastic modification was made. Eyelash adhesive was swapped out for superglue. When a girl unknowingly used it, her eyelashes closed. Suddenly, there was no more laughter. She shouted, and the room exploded with fear. Within minutes, she was on her way to the hospital. Some claim that she briefly lost her sight. Other people whispered that her parents were threatening to sue. However, Meghan Markle's name stood out amid the chaos. There was no police report or official record. Just frightened students, wailing sorority sisters, and an uncontrollable rumor. The next morning, Meghan was gone. Nothing, no classes, no campus attractions. It was as if she had vanished overnight. It was said that she was suspended. Others claimed she was told to disappear until the crisis was resolved. However, everyone agreed on one thing: a strong person was cleaning up the mess. Rumors circulated behind the scenes that Thomas Markle, Meghan's father, was the one responsible. A man who was aware of silent agreements, cameras, and contracts. He reportedly paid more than $200,000 to make everything vanish. No lawsuit, no paper trail, and silence. He was not only protecting his daughter, he was building her future. That quiet turned into Meghan's first serious lesson. Sometimes the truth isn't the best option. Power is about control, not sincerity. Furthermore, when employed properly, silence can be more powerful than any admission. She came back after several months. She was different, though. The bashful student who used to blend in with the people has changed into a polished, self-assured, and untouchable individual. She started attending upscale dinners, yacht parties, and opulent gatherings with powerful, affluent individuals in place of studying for tests. No one knew for sure how she got there. Some claim that she was hired to make an impression, attend social gatherings, and charm people. Others said she was networking and learning the nuances of status and perception. While her friends were working toward degrees, Meghan was studying reinvention, which was entirely different. She became conscious of her presence. She improved her time. Even when her story wasn't totally true, she was skilled at persuading people to accept it. When she eventually spoke about her college years, she described them flawlessly. She claimed to have obtained a dual degree from Northwestern in theater and international relations, worked at the U.S. Embassy in Argentina, and even learned to speak Spanish well in just a few weeks. It was the perfect story, beautiful, prosperous, and inspiring. Then the details began to unravel. Northwestern never offered that dual degree. She largely worked on paperwork at the embassy. Experts judged her language claim to be implausible. Additionally, her graduation photos seemed staged, lacking classmates, recognizable places, and modest robes. The story continued, however. As Meghan entered Buckingham Palace, every aspect of her royal biography was repeated, printed in gold, and sealed with royal approval. She became the embodiment of the girl who changed from being an ordinary one to an extraordinary one in a contemporary fairy tale. Then everything changed without a word. The royal website saw unexpected adjustments. Her dual degree line is no longer in existence. Removed without explanation or correction. Reporters paid attention. After comparing the variations, they discovered that Northwestern University had verified that there had never been a degree like that. The palace had simply removed it, not rejected it. That deletion contained all of the information. For years, Meghan's story has been characterized by her control over her image, reality, and silence. But she wasn't using silence as a weapon this time. It turned out to be her undoing. The only person still visible in the background was her father, Thomas Markle. He had been there from the beginning because he is said to have written the check that ended the scandal. Years later, though, their relationship worsened. They were now divided by the same silence that had once guarded her. He had built her safety net, but she had turned her back on him. The sad irony is that the same power that saved her also divided her family. Because when truth turns into money, love turns into collateral. Any kingdom founded on illusion inevitably collapses. And instead of a dramatic headline, Meghan's story started with a small change, a word that was taken out, or a missing document. The fraud, the reward, the reinvention, and the royal rewrite were all intertwined with the same lesson she had learned as a college student. If you have control over the story, you have control over the world. But once the plot takes control, there's no escape. Meghan Markle's achievement was not the product of luck or fate, but of strategy. Every stop, every patch, and every remove were all part of that design. And it functioned perfectly for years until the patient, serene truth began to whisper again. Finally, instead of collapsing with a dramatic crash, her story fell apart in silence. The same silence that protected her, shaped her, and finally allowed her to shine.